Alrighty, guys, we just finished official business. So now we're going to be on to the next quest in Old Dad's New World Quest Guide. Let's see what this quest gives us.
Of course, many around town find Overseer Dottie to be the most frustrating. I'm feeling a little impatient with him myself. Miklos has only been here a few years. He's still got that old world cavalier attitude about things. You seem more reasonable, however. Perhaps you could help me with something.
Of course, what do you need?
If we mean to defend the settlement, we must acknowledge that the factions are our best bet. You should speak with the Marauders, the Covenant, and the Syndicate, and decide with whom you'd like to cast your lot.
Okay, so in this quest, we had to go around town here and just talking to the person from each of the three different factions. I already know, as you can see in the top right hand corner, I'm going to be going Marauder. So let's go around.
You think you are the stuff of Marauders? Do not underestimate us. Our path demands sacrifice. We are the strongest of the strong.
Of course they are.
Where others hesitate, we charge head first into the fray. A marauder is rewarded not only in gold, but in the glory of each victory.
Obviously the best faction to choose, because we're just awesome. But we'll talk to the other wimps.
Glad to meet you. What can I do for you? Aye, the spark is what gives you life. It's the mover within ye, the purpose, the beliefs that rise you from your bed every morn. The Covenant are the stewards of the spark and of the poor souls who wander in darkness.
Wimps. Now we just need to go over to the syndicate over here. And by the end of this, I do believe we select our
So you seek
faction.
an alliance with yours truly? What subject do you fancy? Astrology, numerology, alchemy, or any of the other sciences for that matter?
Tell me about the syndicate.
We are the only ones here who have the acuity to unravel the mysteries of this place. We will learn the secrets of Azoth and its power, and usher in a new era of prosperity for all.
Excuse me. So now we're going to go back over here, and he's going to tell me to go and choose, I do believe. There he is.
Meet with each of the three factions and decide which you have the most trust in.
I've talked to them. I'm ready to choose.
I sympathize with your hesitation. The factions can sometimes be a headache here. But I cannot dispute the fact that they have become extremely influential, both here in Windsward and all over Eternum.
Team Green, all the
Dare
way.
you believe yourself worthy of the Marauders? Are you bold only of tongue, or can you support that with action?
I've decided I want to join the Marauders. And then, even though you walked up to the Marauders and say you want to join the Marauders, it still takes you through this setup here that you're going to have. Telling you what it's about. You can complete missions for XP, coin, faction tokens, earn influence to determine territory control, compete strategically against enemy factions in PvP missions, gain access to faction gear, spend faction tokens on special weapons, armor, and consumables, earn ranks to unlock advanced tears and crafting components. Enjoy the benefits of territory control, reduce costs for workshops and fast travel, complete town missions to upgrade the settlement. PvP and faction war, flagging for PvP. Flag for PvP from any settlement or outpost. Default key is U. Earn additional XP when flagged. Contribute to faction influence within the territory. Territory control. Faction members of controlling faction enjoy benefits in territory and settlement. Controlling factions reinforce control by completing PvP faction missions. Opposing factions undermine enemy factions' control by completing PvP faction missions. Earn enough influence to challenge for territory control through a declaration of war. Faction war is a 50 versus 50 player siege combat at a territory's fortress. Utilize a variety of siege weapons to get the upper hand on your opponents. The attacker's objective is to claim the capture point at the heart of the fortress. The defender's objective is to fend off the attackers for 30 minutes. Territory control. Territory influence. Territory influence is a measure of a faction's control of a territory. Complete faction PvP missions to regain control of a territory. The factions that do not control the territory must complete PvP faction missions to enable a declaration of war. Reinforce or undermine a faction's territory. Controlling factions reinforce control by completing PvP faction missions. Undermine the opposing faction's territories by completing PvP faction missions within their territories. Prevent other factions from completing PvP faction missions by flagging for PvP and patrolling the territory. Prevent the controlling faction from completing PvP faction missions by flagging for PvP and patrolling those territories. Flag for PvP. Flag for PvP from any settlement or outpost by pressing the U key by default. Enabling your PvP flag grants additional XP. Upon leaving a settlement, you receive a 30-second timer before becoming flagged. Once the timer expires, you are free to engage flagged members of the opposing faction. Contribute to the influence war to help your faction take control of each territory by completing PvP faction missions. Keep an eye out for enemy players who are flagged, and stop them from earning influence for their faction by cutting them down. Select your faction. Marauders. You'll only be able to join a company with players of the same faction. If flagged for PvP, you will only be able to group with players from the same faction. Before joining, you might want to double check the faction choices of your friends in New World. Your choice isn't permanent. You can change your faction from the bio screen once. After that, you can change it again every 4 months or 120 days.
My initiation into the Marauders was the pivotal moment of my life. Now, accept this challenge.
That takes care of that quest. Thank you guys for joining. If you enjoy these videos, if they're helpful at all, hit the subscribe button down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you once again, guys. See you on the next quest.